How do you have patience in a world that demands instant gratification? I never learned about patience. Patience is a virtue necessary to achieve what we want in life. There's this saying, the biggest problem with patience and persistence is that it takes both of them to develop any of them. So as I, Francis Drake, improve me, is patience something that I can acquire? There is this graph. You have some goal or an idea you want to achieve or something you want to make into fruition. In the beginning you feel so enthusiastic and bursting with energy to develop that thing, and you can't wait to get started on building it further. But then after a while of doing that thing, that initial energy burst weighs off slowly but surely. It disappears more and more and more, and it becomes harder and harder to gather that energy you had for that thing anymore. You can call this beginning phase the honeymoon phase. This phase festers on our feel-good chemicals such as dopamine and serotonin to propel us forward against what we want. But a good show cannot continue forever, and after a while those initial chemicals tapers off. This is the period when I usually quit, always. I'm so excited in the beginning, but then after a while I just start to build resistance of doing that thing I felt so enthusiastic for just a little bit earlier. And there's actually a name for this I figured out. It's called being a dabbler. It's someone who starts building bridges to their destination but quits halfway and starts building a new bridge and a new bridge. So you never really reach where you want to go because you always start on something new. And I don't want to be a dabbler, but how the hell do you stick with something when you just feel your insides twist when you think about it? And every time you have something to do with that thing, you just feel yourself turning the other way and want to run the other way. I had to figure this out. I started thinking, plotting, and going back in history. I researched the internet and in books. I had to find out how I could not go in this trap once again. Of course, this is a problem with many solutions and many different angles to attack it from. But after my experience and the research I've done, I think I may have found one potential solution to this problem, so that we can acquire more patience in our lives. One root of the dabbler mentality is the craving for the results. When we start something new, working out, starting a business, learning a new skill, we want to get somewhere or acquire something. That is the focus. That's the end goal. When we eventually see that what we wanted takes more hard effort than we thought, that end goal, that craving seems further and further away. And that period in between reaching that goal becomes less fun. And in some cases, we may even try to force that thing to come into fruition by any means necessary. So here is the mindset shift. Whenever you start something new, trying to build something, see it as you're planting a seed. Then from that point, treat it as just that, a seed that you planted. What does a seed need? Attention and nourishment, and last but not least, it needs time. When we plant a seed and water it and give it nourishment, there is no need to sit and stare at it for a long time and trying it to force to grow. When a seed has already started growing, we don't look at it and condemn it and say, you need to grow faster, you need to be something else. We see that if we just continue to bring that attention and nourishment, keep watering it day in, day out, giving it our attention, the natural process is that that seed will grow into something more. We can look at that seed and that sprout that's sprouting and see that the process is what's important. It's the little evolutions that seed has every day, the small changes. That's the enjoyment. That's where we put our focus. We just know that if we continue, it will grow. So we can see the little changes and stay in the present moment, enjoying that. Not fixate on one point where we will be satisfied, but just relaxing into the natural process of that seed. Patience is dragging our attention away from that end result, that craving, and bringing it back to the present moment, being okay at the stage that we are at now. Enjoy what's happening in this exact moment, because we know that time only moves one way, and if you just take the simple steps necessary, we will be carried there. And as you remember the saying, the problem with patience and persistence is that it takes both of them to develop any of them. We have to make our own definition of a seed so we can be patient and build that patience as well. I'm Francis Drake. This is the channel where I improve me, learning to live at the edge of time, seeing the adventure in every moment and turning the obstacle into the way. Subscribe if you want to follow this journey or liked what I had to say. I have a lot more in store for this channel if I'm able to nurture that seed and be patient. So I see you on the other side.